Hi everyone, I'm Neil Ormond. I'm the head coach of the Middle East Youth Soccer Organisation in Dubai, and this is my video on becoming a professional football coach. Okay, so I get asked this question quite a lot, and I'd like to share with you guys my experience and my journey since becoming a coach. So first of all, who am I? I've got 10 years grassroots and academy experience. I'm a UEFA B and Advanced Youth Award coach, which is a level 4 qualification. I specialised in the foundation phase. Clubs I've worked for, Wigan Athletic, Liverpool Football Club, and as I say, I'm currently working in Dubai now. So how did I get involved in being a coach? Well, when I was younger, I played at a decent level. Unfortunately, like most, didn't make it as a professional, unfortunately, but wanted to stay in the game, had a huge passion for it, and was desperate to continue that journey. Okay, so first and most important question is, how did you get started? How did you get involved in football? For me personally, I volunteered at a grassroots club in my local Liverpool area called Paramount Football Club. Great standard, great setup. They were an FA chartered standard club. Basically what that means is each coach and volunteer that worked there had to be qualified with an FA qualification, either in level 1 or level 2, or an FA safeguarding workshop. This was a great foundation for me because as an unexperienced, non-qualified coach, originally I had parents and coaches around me that helped me and guided me, and it was a great blueprint for looking at how to set up a session, organise a session, how to deal with children, how to deal with differences in children, and just basically get the ball rolling and have fun. Usually these clubs as well have a really good philosophy, particularly when it comes to their coaches, so they will support you through your level 1 or level 2 qualification. And in some instances, they will often pay for you as well. So where can you gain your level 1 and level 2 qualification? Well, I did mine at my local county FA. Lots of different courses are run through the FA and the county FA. Level 1, level 2, a lot of grassroots sort of foundation courses are run through there, and they're all listed on the website. To gain my level 1, it took me a couple of weekends, and then I was signed off. Very simple. The course consists of how to organise your practice, how to keep it safe, and how to manage children basically in that sort of football environment. So after that, I did my level 2 course, which is a little bit more technical, a little bit more advanced, and goes into the details of actually coaching and coaching technique. Again, that can be found at your local county FA. Now, just to be aware, you have to pay for your own level 1 and level 2 unless your standard chartered club is a good one and will provide you funding for that. But just be prepared, you're probably more than likely going to have to pay for these yourselves. So while I was coaching at the grassroots Paramount team, I was continually going through my level 2 course. This took roughly about 6 months. So in total it took probably about 12 months to get the level 1 and level 2 courses out the way. And these are definitely just the foundations that all coaches need to coach at sort of a grassroots and even any level really. They're a great guideline, as I say, and they definitely give you the tools to go forward. Okay, so as I was going through my level 2, I got the bug for coaching. I absolutely loved it. It was great working with kids and seeing how you could help them and improve them. Just the small returns, like if you were working on shooting or if you were working on dribbling and they demonstrated something that you taught them in that session, it was great satisfaction as a coach, as I'm sure you'll all be aware. So as I say, in that time I was sort of applying for lots of different jobs in the community, as additional volunteering work, and also I was looking at going over to America. Now, a lot of my friends at the time were going to America. It was something that I'd always wanted to do. However, I felt that the ship had sort of set sail at that point. So at this time I was thinking about taking my coaching career further, and I was applying for lots of different jobs. When I came over here, I actually looked at how many different football academies there were at the time. And I think back then there was probably about 8 or 9 football academies. So checked out all the websites, looked at all the contact details, and in total I probably sent about sort of 25 to 35 emails to separate individual contact details for academies across Dubai. After that, once I got home, luckily, it took about 6 months for any reply to come through, basically. So in my experience during this stage, you have to be able to take the sort of rejection, because a lot of emails came back, a lot of applications came back unsuccessful, not qualified enough, and you haven't got enough experience, you're not, all these different things. But for me, it didn't stop me from trying to achieve what I wanted to achieve. I think that the most important thing is that you're resilient and you just keep going. Never give up. If this is something that you really want to do, I think you should keep going and strive to achieve what you want to achieve. So my first stint in Dubai was in 2012 to 2015, where I was just an academy coach with the Middle East Youth Soccer Organisation. This gave me brilliant foundations to work with all different levels and all different age groups, from after school activities to advanced group sessions. This was a great time for me because it allowed me to use all the level 1, level 2 and youth module techniques and apply it in all different scenarios and with different ages and abilities. Something that I would advise anyone to do is to try and work with as mixed ability as possible. And it really does develop your sort of initiative as a coach and your organisation skills, as well as your planning. You always have to have 2 or 3 other sort of exercises or practices up your sleeve, just in case something isn't quite working, they haven't got it, and using all these different techniques that you use throughout the courses. So towards the back end of my first stint here in Dubai, I was travelling back home to the UK to complete the UEFA B licence. Now, I wouldn't recommend to do this to anyone. Unfortunately, where I was at the time, there was no coaching education, so I had no choice if I wanted to progress my career. So I definitely think about doing your UEFA B or any sort of higher level qualifications in the country that you are in. It just costs too much in flights, obviously, as well as paying for the course itself. So my recommendation would definitely be to do it in the place that you live in. So the UEFA B course is a lot more advanced than the level 1, level 2 and youth module awards, in the sense that it has a lot more tactical emphasis as well as technical, and it's how you deal with the 11v11 format or 8v8 format in that sense. This took around 12 months to complete, and during that time I had a mentor, an FA mentor, who guided me through the journey. During that time I had to fill in a portfolio, which you do with any sort of FA course now, and you have to log in sessions, evaluate sessions, which is a great tool and a great way to continue to improve as a coach. Once I completed the UEFA B, and unfortunately I passed, my mentor advised me and we had the discussion about what was the next move for me. Now, I'd been here for 3 years, which was a fantastic experience, but I was desperate to gain professional academy experience at that time. And luckily enough, he put me in front of an interview panel at Wigan Athletic Football Club. So fortunately for me, I managed to get the role, and I was working as a coach in the foundation phase. So this is from under 8s up until under 11s. Now again, this was a fantastic experience to put in that UEFA B level, even sort of level 2 things, and also be in line with a club philosophy. Now every professional academy will have their club philosophy, and that will oversee how you are as a coach, but also the technical and tactical elements that you deliver to all the academy players. As you can imagine, this was a fantastic learning experience for me, going to the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Everton, lots of different Premier League and advanced academies back in the UK. So if you're fortunate enough to pass your UEFA B and you want to go this far and progress your career, I would definitely recommend on trying to get some sort of experience within a category 1, 2 or 3 academy. Obviously the higher the better. For me, this is where I learned a lot of things technically and tactically, and how to look at individual programs, how that works within the units, how that works in the team. it's a fantastic experience, and I would recommend anyone to try and get, even if it's just volunteering or observing sessions. This is something that is key to your development as a coach. So just to summarise my experience and sort of going forward, this is a long journey. As I say, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and by no means am I the finished article. The good thing about coaching is that you learn a lot all the time, and there's always information and new information to take on board, whether that be technical or tactical elements of the game. The game is always evolving, which is is great for a studious coach. It's so important. Another vital part is gain as much experience as possible, whether that be in your local community or at your grassroots club. This is where you're working with lots of different age groups and lots of different ability as well. That's the most important thing. This will develop your initiative and planning as a coach. So as we said previously, you might have one session and practice that you want to deliver, but then if it's not going so well, you need plan A, B, C, D. And it's a great way of building your foundations as a coach. So when you're on all these different courses, I think it's really important to make contacts. So being as friendly and as polite as possible to as many different people. All these people have different walks of life, and it's something that you can always take from any other coach that you work with or you study alongside. So I think making as many contacts as possible in football is really important in going forward. So during your journey as a coach, it's really important to stay committed and stay on track. There will be times where you have self-doubt in your own ability, doubt about the general sort of profession itself. But for me, honestly, it's the best. For me, it's the best profession that you can go into if you're just passionate about what you do and you're passionate about football. I think it's really important. You will have your moments where you think this might not be for me, but then the next week you might put on a really, really good session, and everything's rosy again. So stay committed to it and continue to research. This is another really key element for me. As part of my job now, I recruit different members of staff, lots of different coaches, and the problem is sometimes is that we see lots of the same games over and over again during interview processes. Now this is okay, it's not a problem, it'll get you to a certain point in your coaching career, but in order to develop and build on the foundations that you've got, I think you need to take risks. And by taking risks and researching different practices, trying different things, it always makes you a better coach and be coming out of your safety net. So I've had to fund everything that I've done so far. Whether that's from the level 1, level 2, UEFA B, and most recently the Advanced Youth Award at St George's Park, which took just over 12 months to complete. I would recommend any FA course, I'll be honest. I know they've had sort of a little bit of critique in the past, but for me and in my experience, I've learnt an awful lot, especially recently at the Advanced Youth Award at St George's Park. This was specified in foundation phase, and it taught me an awful lot going forwards. And just to finish, I've been very lucky and very fortunate in my short coaching journey so far. I've travelled to the likes of Iceland, Malaysia, Cyprus, Norway, and Dubai, obviously where I'm based now as head coach. This is a fantastic career. It's very hard work, but it's also very rewarding, and I would advise anyone if they wanted to pursue it. If you want to get in touch with me, not a problem, and I can help you out. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave your likes and your comments below.